longer. Tied up 1-1 at the moment is the score. This is Rifkin. I'm casting the Team Liquid map contest qualifiers for the Red Bull Battlegrounds. Of course, I don't know what the prize money associated with this is. I've been so busy jumping from game to game. I have to multitask a million things. It sucks solo casting, guys. So I don't know the prize amount, but the winner of this whole thing, the finals will be played out tomorrow, will be qualified for the Red Bull Battlegrounds in New York City. So that's why you see a lot of people duking it out right now. It's not so much about the cash. The cash is probably going to be really nice, but it is, of course, that qualifying spot that they really are competing for. Now, spawning here in the upper left corner of the map, playing for SK Telecom 1, it is Parting, changing the color. A little bit pale after that last game. Big pun intended, of course. Mouse is glitching like crazy. Let's see if that fixes it. I'm going to have to swap my mice out after this game, but yeah, what is happening here with the... Sorry, what's that? I'm trying to do the herring or something. Alright, that's a little bit better. Spawning here in the lower right, though, playing for Evil Geniuses, it is going to be the Green Terran player, Alive. And Alive, he certainly is. After that game, after that first game, I really thought he was going to be in a lot of trouble in this series versus Parting, but he showed he can recognize weakness in his opponent, and you bet 100% the Banshees in Game 2 were entirely reactionary to the fact that Parting had nothing in Game 1, that he was able to do so much damage initially, and we got to see a really exciting game earlier today on Graveside. I called it at the start of the day before we got into any maps. I was really looking forward to seeing this map. I hope we'll see another exciting one here today. For those who are just tuning in, you haven't seen this map played yet, let's give you a quick tour of the map. Big thing here, of course, is this nicely tucked in natural base either here or here. Of course, this one's a little more exposed because of the wider opening, but this one can be exposed later by the rocks. Now, rocks are a questionable problem because let's say you knock them down. If you're the Protoss player, you knock these down, you keep coming at Alive through warping after warping after warping. He can't defend at the natural as well as deal with this huge opening into a quick third base. Alive, or hang on, Parting, is he... Okay, he's going to proxy something outside of his base. I think it's going to be a Twilight Council. I don't think it'll be a Stargate again, but hey, I'd be okay with being wrong. The rest of the map, though, is pretty standard stuff. The one cool thing is there's a lot of ramps in the middle of the map. This one big one, there's some rocks covering the others. This base is very dangerous. So, I mean, there's some cool dynamics to this map. I think a lot of this kind of lends itself to this really balanced game style. Like, for example, take Belshir or Daybreak. Those maps are often not vetoed because there's not a lot of threats one way or another. That's where I kind of feel this map lies, but only time will tell. And as players play it more, we'll have to see how they experience and they transition through the maps. But Reaper's going to come to the base of Parting here in the top. Yeah, I'm just going to get shut down immediately. What is it going to be? Is it really going to be a Stargate? It's going to be a Stargate. Okay. So, my thought process was this was going to be a Twilight Council. I thought he was going to do something cheeky and try and catch his opponent off guard. It's too far away to be a Robo. And I thought the gas intake was going to be too low to be a Stargate. But I'm okay. I'm fine with being wrong because this means he'll be trying to get very exciting units out in the field again. If he goes for the Oracle, he has seen before that he can catch Alive off guard, but Alive, who has experienced twice now the threat of Oracles, I don't think will fall for it again. Did you wash your hands? Of course I washed my hands, except I don't know about you guys, I love that hand sanitizer stuff that like evaporates in your hands. Oh my god, I'm like addicted to that stuff. Like you buy like $1 bottles at a time. I go through that stuff like crazy. I'm probably addicted to the alcohol in it. I'm probably an alcoholic and I don't even know it, but I love those little things. So Alive going to come in here with the Reaper once again. Will be shut out, but again, he maintains the Reaper. If he got in here to the main, he would see a severe lack of tech, and that might make him really wary of this sort of awkward proxy out of Parting. But I just want to play. Parting's felt like the coolest part of the map. If anything, I would have thought he would have put it here behind the brush, but on the low ground works too. Working away at the rocks for now. Alive knows he can't quite push in. Might go for the natural or through the main entrance, again, if he's afforded the opportunity, but with nothing at home to defend, Parting's Oracle is going to find nothing to oppose it. 3 Marines are here. He's going to produce 3 at a time, so he'll eventually kill this, but look at this. Once again, Parting will kill some workers. Going to skip past those mules. They're big, juicy targets, yeah. Realizing this, Alive pulls immediately. And again, this is kind of how you deal with this. Oracle is forced to stutter step around. 5 Marines are going to be no problem as they catch the Oracle a little bit off guard. And Parting's forced to back up. Rocks, in the meantime, are almost about down. I don't know if Parting's going to get caught off guard by this. I mean, the Mothership Core's here already. It's going to overcharge, and that's fine. But having the rocks down this early just opens another avenue in which Alive could possibly come in. Looks like the Reaper did finally get taken out, by the way. Northern part of the map. Going to go for upgrades. Alright. Armor specifically. Very good against Terran. That Twilight Council probably means we're going to see the Templar Archives follow us up, as Parting has done earlier today and showed us before in the past. So, very excited to see how these storms come into effect. They can be either really big or really bad. A lot of the time, it depends heavily on the player's control, and I feel Parting is one of those players you can just kind of guarantee will have the good control. I don't think we're ever... Like, you might see a panic storm out of a player like Parting once in a while. It does happen, but it's not kind of the expected. Like, you see a bronze player using Storm, you're like, okay. The question is, does he not hit himself? But Parting, it's like, does he miss? Probably not. So it is going to be Templar Archives. Very excited to see how he comes into Storm. He tried going for drops against Jockshi, but those were never really effective. He hasn't had the opportunity to try them against Alive, of course, because they've had some very strange games leading up to this one. So if he can make Storm drops work, more power to him, but he's got Charge coming up quickly, and he's going to have to rely heavily on Mothership Core Overcharge, as well as Zealots to hold off this initial push. There's cannons coming down the mineral lines, but I think this is more like in the paranoia of Banshees more than anything else. One Marauder going to just push on in here, but probably should not. Just no. Meanwhile, the Oracle's killed 7 SCVs. Hasn't killed too many more, sadly. Force Field will keep alive out for the time being. Parting playing this very smart, very meticulously, and I want to point out he's not missing a beat. So many times you watch even the best players in Europe, even the best players in Korea, they'll miss force fields. They're not robots, contrary to popular belief. They can mess up, and Parting, though, however, is not displaying this at all. Look at that. Both, even from Alive as well, by the way, not going too far up the ramp, pulling back. It's small things like this that are practiced time in and time out that are so darn good at keeping these players in the game. If, like, for example, if Alive lost half of his units there, he could have picked up with the medevac. He could have pulled out. Sure, if Parting missed the force field, that could have been game over for him, though. But again, a nice overcharge will push this away. Factory awkwardly floating like an overlord. Go home, Factory. You're drunk. There are Templar on the field, but they're just garnering energy for the time being. They can do feedbacks at best. Medevacs are not... They don't have enough energy to feed back and kill, so it really wouldn't be too worth it in the end. I love these pylons going to come in, though. This will try and catch Alive from behind, I feel. Like, he's going to force a fight at the ramp, and he won't force field it off, but he'll come in from behind with some charge lots and kind of scoop everything together. Templar doesn't have enough energy to storm, if necessary, if he can afford to get this off, but one force field is all that remains. Big storm. Nice hit. Actually gets a couple of Marines. I didn't think that was going to get any, but nice initial storm there out of Parting. Again, he's got the potential to warp in. I don't think Alive knows about these pylons. No. So, actually, with the Warp Prism, forget what I'm saying. He does storm the other side of the map, gets 4 CV kills. Zealots being warped in with charge. Going to put Alive on a bit of a defensive stretch here. Will Alive go all in with this, or will he come back home is going to be the big question. He does, of course, have to worry about this. Reinforcements coming out, but again, this is charge lots versus bio. They've got armor upgrades. They are going to get cleaned up, but this looks like it bought enough time for Parting to push out of his own base, and Parting did get some good connects off with those Zealots, but there we go. Charge now coming off cooldown will allow him to get right back in there. Can't quite get in range for that storm that he so desperately wants to pull up in that low bio army. However, Photon Overcharge again going to push out Alive, keep him out of the natural, and third base is being established behind this. So lots of worker kills getting done there for Parting. I actually really like this. 23 SCVs were slaughtered in the making of this game. No animals were harmed, however. Looks like the Nexus is going to be running out of overcharge here soon. Big storm actually gets most of that bio. One Marauder is left. That is the Marauder that you send home to tell your friends what happened here today, says Parting. The horrors I've seen, guys. Oh, all my friends died in the war. But okay, it gets back with the army. One big thing is got to catch the Warp Prism. There's going to be another storm available through this. He'll kill some more SCVs. This Stargate's not that big of a threat. We're probably not going to see Parting invest in much of anything. If he does invest in anything, it'll probably be Phoenixes, if that. But, oh, these Templar! Oh! 5 Templar caught off guard, forced to storm. And then forced to turn into Archons. That's a huge catch out of Alive. Even if the Archon's complete, I don't think they will. He'll probably kill both of these. Those are 5 less storms available on the field. That's 5 less area of effect damage. Oh my god, this is huge. This is huge. And he's gonna press his advantage here. Picks off another Templar. Parting, what are you doing? These Templar are so awkwardly out of spot. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, looks like he has started to transition into warping in. Did he get some worker kills behind this? Was that why he messed up? That's the only thing I can think of. But now the Warp Prism actually gonna get chased off by these Marines. Templar inside will go down, and Parting is falling apart at the seams. Alive is not exactly decisively far ahead. He's actually behind the workers by quite a lot. He's behind an entire base. But Parting is making a lot of mistakes right now. Far be it for me to call Parting bad. I'm not, guys. Please understand. but he's making a lot of little mistakes that are giving Alive these sort of edgeways to taking the lead. Something that a position Alive should not be in right now with this many workers down. Pretty good storm. Not going to kill much of this, though. It's primarily Marauders. But looks like there's 5 Marauders, 6 Marines getting ready to hit this base. That cannon's not that big of a threat, but looks like the army here on the southwest side of the map will get crushed, or at least forced to retreat. Will he boost into the main? Oh, he could boost into the natural here. There's feedbacks, but feedbacks aren't going to be that big of a threat. Probably just going to storm the army to clean it up, but looks like a big drop. However, it does go off inside the natural, and this is the sort of damage Alive needs to get done, but he's forced to deal with the Zealots before he can even think about touching the probes, and of course, the armor upgrades on these Zealots are level 2. The 1-0 of these Marines is just not cutting it. The damage is not there. It's going to eventually clean this up, but here comes the reinforcements, and that's going to be that big storm is going to clean this up so nicely, like a little gift package. 2 almost dead Marauders are all that remain. Mothership Core could even clean this up. Looks like dropping the natural still, though. However, 2 Marauders going to 3 Marauders dance around the best they can. I don't know. Warp Prism's still available from parting. He put a new one out, so that's across the field and can start warping in if he wants to. We finally have Ghosts underway, but where's the 3rd base Alive? Still on 2 bases for this long, coming up 17 minutes in, is not going to go well for our Terran players. Behind in upgrades, behind in tech, behind in army supply, behind in workers. Alive is just behind. And this is match point, too. This is a really important game. This isn't a best of 5. This is just a best of 3. He's got nothing else to fall back on here in the quarterfinals. Dodging around, trying to do it again. Big warp in going to come in. Zealot's going to go underneath this, but of course, Marines can't even touch it. They try and come in from behind before Archons just say nope. Zealot's going to charge right into the heat of battle, get underneath these medevac. Marauders are doing what they can. They're going to soak a lot of these hits for the Stalkers to come on in, but here come the Archons. There was no support before, just Zealots, but the Zealots have already done enough damage. Good game is called. Party will advance forward 2-1 over Evil Geniuses Alive.